what's up guys? This is Bobo Jones, and today I am on one of my dream ride bikes, which is this Yamaha XSR900. I'll do a little walkthrough of it in a bit. I just want to get past this fucking traffic here. Let's see, I can't believe it's like this today. So I'm on this XSR900 today, which I've been wanting to ride for a really, really long time. And a guy at work was kind enough to let me try it out. So I'm super, super duper excited. We're going to take it out to the beach, do a walk around. So far, first impressions, it feels ridiculously powerful, which is awesome. So it currently has holy smokes. Yeah. It's got the beans. Wow. It has such crazy torque. So it has 115 horsepower and 65 foot-pounds of torque. But it's so much lighter and smaller than my bike. I didn't expect it to feel this much smaller than my BMW. That's fast, dude. And if so much smaller than my BMW. So was not expecting that, and it feels, man, just as it feels. I mean, I know my Beamer's got 165 or something like that, but holy smokes. Wow. You know what it is also? My Beamer has a bucket seat. This thing has a straight seat, so it feels like my ass is gonna fly off the back of it when I'm like really gunning it. So yeah, very surprising, very powerful, feels very small, feels like very nimble. The turning still is not as light as my Beamer. My Beamer is much more flickable. I don't want to say flickable because it's a lot bigger, but it's much more mine turns in more, probably because it's more top heavy. This is probably more bottom heavy. So like, you know, this is pretty flickable though at low speeds. I mean, it feels pretty good. Yeah, but man, it is just fast. I can't believe it. I can't believe how fast it is. I guess I should have expected this. Engine is smooth, so at low RPMs, it is kind of on and off catchy, which I kind of knew was going to happen. But where's the? I don't know where my blinkers are. Oh, here they are. But yeah, it's very smooth once you're going. It's still a little catchy now, actually, around like 5,000 RPMs. But it feels great. It feels great. Definitely, yeah, not as smooth as the Beamer engine, which I'm surprised because I thought it would be. Oh yeah, no, it's the torque is insane. Yeah, I thought it would be a smooth because it's a triple, and triples are, you know, known to be smoothy. So it must be more of an ECU, the electronics package. I don't know why they would do that and not just make it super smooth. But I don't know, they didn't. It's not smooth at all. When you're in low RPM. Sorry, I'm distracted by the Ferrari and the Lamborghini over there, or whatever the hell they were. Yes, but not as smooth as the Beamer, but still smooth, and I'd say at low RPMs it's still smoother than Bobby's T120 that I rode the other day. But it definitely gives you a lot of torque, and I think part of my nervousness with it is, again, this flat seat that doesn't like grip me in. at low. Doesn't grip me in when I'm really gunning it, so that could definitely be an issue. But it feels so good. Oh my God, it's such a like nice bike, and yeah, it turns fine. But I don't think it turns quite as easily as my Beamer. But it turns nicely. What else? Obviously, this is a triple. The thing is just so beautiful. Like, if I was going to get a bike, this is the first kind of retro, cafe-ish, modern retro thing that I would ever buy. And I would buy this bike because it has that ridiculous kind of sports bike super naked power, but in a really nice package. So I really like it. The mirrors are okay. I should have adjusted them more for me, but they seem like they're pretty good. He's done a lot of aftermarket modifications on this bike, which we'll go over in a second. We're going to stop here by the beach and take a look at stuff. But he's done a lot of cool stuff. He's made an already beautiful bike insanely beautiful. So let's talk about, is this a good beginner bike? Definitely not. Okay, where I said Bobby's T120 wasn't a good beginner bike because it gives you that initial throttle and then it's fine. This thing at any RPM I can turn on and it'll surprise you a little bit. Unlike Bobby's, where once you get going, it's not like, nothing about it is going to shock you. Is this where I go in? Yeah, so let's stop here at the beautiful beachside on this cloudy day and take a little bit of a better look at this bike, do a little bit of a walk around so I can show all the cool stuff he did to it. So here she is, guys. Beautiful Yamaha XSR900. Again, probably my favorite color combo. Stock, it comes with this brushed silver tank and the brown seat, which I actually think I prefer a little bit to this one, but this one's super cool. He got this from Yamaha as well, and it's just an aftermarket part. He's done some really cool stuff. He's put this tail tidy on it, which also includes these lights that are super cool. The signal light there, you can see I have the right signal on. It makes the bike like unbelievably beautiful. He's done some Yamaha engine protector slider thingies, and then he's done these front turn signals, which as well are just super duper really cool and awesome. I think, again, this bike is the most just best combination of like beauty and performance, where you have like an actual serious, super fast, scary, naked bike, but it actually looks cool enough and it brings in that kind of retro feel with like the modern tank in a way that I think no other bike on the market does. So it'd definitely be my favorite of the new kind of modern retro bikes. And that's it. So we'll take it out. I'll do some more comments on it being a good first bike, or rather not being a good first bike, and we'll see how it feels. My other comment about this is that I would suggest you get something with more of a bucket, which his other seat does have, because I was a little scared. This bike is fast, and I felt my ass scooting up this, and this didn't give me quite enough protection to keep me from feeling like I was going to slide off. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's so cool. So I'll get back on the road and we'll have some final thoughts on this. So I'm currently riding in standard mode. Basically, the only major difference between standard and the more powerful mode is how much torque it gives you right away, right off the bat. And this is more than enough for me. So the suspension, definitely feeling a lot more bumps than on my bike. Of course, my bike has full, like, real-time electronic suspension, but it definitely jumps you around a little on this bike, whereas my bike takes it like a champ. But still, it feels pretty good. It doesn't feel super soft. Like, let's see when I brake. Yeah, you get a little, you get a little nosedive, but it's definitely not super bad. The brakes are definitely not as strong as the Beamer, as you'd expect, but these bikes are known for having, oftentimes not the greatest brakes. on earth. Oh yeah, the bumps are a little rough. But they're fine. They stop you, you know. Combined with the suspension, you're definitely not going to feel as confident. So going back to my point about good first bike, no, this is not a good first bike. This bike is extremely, extremely fast. I mean, for 115 horsepower and 65 foot-pounds of torque, I don't know if it's because it's light or just how the engine delivers power, but it is ripping fast, this bike, and it is just awesome, but you got to have some years under your belt before you go for this. Otherwise, as a second bike, I'd say maybe, but it still might be a little too badass for that. So I'm not really convinced. You need to definitely know what you're doing on this bike and be really comfortable with your controls, because the power just comes out of nowhere and like hits you in the face. So that would be my tip. No, definitely don't get this for a first bike. Get that T120 before you get this. And what else? This gauge cluster I love. I think it looks super cool. It's easy to read. The only thing I'm not crazy about is that sometimes I don't think I can see my RPMs super well. But besides that, it's really good. Here's the cheese balls again with the exotic cars, like doing a photo shoot or something. Hey! And yeah, this gauge cluster is great. I could see what gear I'm in. I could see what speed very clearly. Does it have a fuel gauge? It has a fuel gauge, but it looks like it's only like 3 big chunks or 4 big chunks. But that's good enough. At least you know when you're on your kind of last thing. Let's see these brakes. Yeah, the front dives a little when you're hard braking. Shifting is fine. Gearbox feels fine. I haven't had any like real major issues. And yeah, I mean, the gearbox feels fine. It has a slipper clutch, but it doesn't have any, auto up, auto down stuff on it. No blipper. So I'm just spoiled. But power wise, I really have to say it feels, maybe because it's a little scarier because it's not quite as refined, but it feels like it's almost as fast as my Beamer, man. I mean, it just serves up that torque from the bottom. You don't feel it quite as much as the top as you do on my Beamer, but you definitely feel it more, I think, on the bottom than you do on the Beamer, or equal. And then on the top, it kind of chills out a little bit compared to the BMW. But yeah, it's very easy to control. The on and off isn't really distracting me actually as much as it did on Bobby's, even though I feel it. The kind of on and off catchy throttle, I feel it even if I'm going fast and moving. He says he's going to get an ECU flash for it, so that could fix it. But it's really, ooh. Yeah, and it has a pretty short first gear, so I keep gassing it way too much in first. So that's just something to note. But again, I'm not used to it, so I'm not as comfortable with the throttle. Oh yeah, it still has a lot, even in the high revs. Like, it feels pretty good. Wow, I just can't believe how much power it has and how small and nimble it feels. Let's see how it shifts up high. Full gas. Oh my God, yeah, it's awesome. It just feels a lot faster at high speeds than the Beamer does. Like a lot faster. Because it doesn't feel quite as stable. So look, I mean, here's the deal. This bike has a lot more character. We were just talking about it. Has a lot more character than my Beamer does. It's not as smooth, and people love that. People love that about this bike. that's another reason though that you definitely need more experience under your belt, because it will do things at different times as part of having that character that you won't expect. And you know, you just need to be ready for that and learn for that. And you need to be a good enough rider that you can handle that kind of power that might come out of nowhere when you're not expecting it, or that, you know, on and off throttle. But definitely has more character than the Beamer does. The triple feels just super good, and has really nice steady torque throughout the rev range, and applies power really nicely. So yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about this bike. I would highly recommend it if you're in the market for something like this. I mean, for me, dollar for dollar, my Beamer costs almost twice as much as this. Dollar for dollar, no question. This bike is so much of a better value than the Beamer, and I would argue that when you include style, performance, and everything, this is probably dollar for dollar the best bike on the market, period. I don't think you're going to get anything better than this. I just don't see how it's possible, and this is what I'm talking about, where bikes like this are really putting kind of the European manufacturers, the luxury quote-unquote manufacturers, in check. Because yeah, okay, no, you're not getting anywhere near as much refinement, but what you are getting is a really good package for not much money, so, which is pretty epic. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about this one. Let me know, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think if you've tried it. I can't highly recommend this bike more. Again, I really do think it's the best value for the money. It smoothens out once you get used to it. Once you get used to that on and off, you'll be fine. You know, and then, you know, when your brakes are up, maybe you put a pair of race Brembos, which I've heard makes a huge difference in these, some Brembo race pads, and you'll be in pretty good shape. So that's it for me. This is Bobo Jones saying, go treat yourself to an XSR900 badass motorcycle. Arrivederci, guys. Take it easy, ride safe.